This generous stimulus program, up to $26,000 per employee, will be expiring soon. Here's what you need to know about it. Hi, this is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm a business loan broker expert, which is another way of saying I can connect you with the best lenders and underwriters. I've vetted the best where I won't overpromise and underdeliver. I won't overwhelm you. I won't try to yap in your ear and be that person who sells you. I provide value and education on all of this, and there's many more ways as well. So I'm going to be getting into what this exact stimulus program is, where you can get up to $26,000 per employee in qualified wages and in for certain quarters of certain years and much more. But let me know where you are tuning in from. Please give me a wave. Let me know what part of the world you are on. I do want to let you know that I did do a live earlier to people that I train, so I may look a bit tired. I'm a little bit with my words, so I'm not as energetic, but please hang in there with me and we'll get going shortly. So this service, this is called the Employee Retention Tax Credit, or Employee Retention Credit, abbreviated as ERC or ERTC. And it's basically this refundable payroll tax credit for being able to retain your employees during the height of COVID, things that were out of your control, for having to, let's say, do a partial or full shutdown, a government mandate, a restriction. You've had gross receipts drop, gross revenue, your profits perhaps was a cause of all of this, but that's not the primary thing. We look at gross revenue, gross receipts, gross sales. Probably your depositing frequency was funky, or in many ways. And you also have a supply chain issue. And there are a few more things that may make you eligible for. So for this, it is for W-2 wages, not W-9, not self-employed, 1099, 1040 filed. You don't have any employees. You can't count yourself. So this is, yes, for those of you who do have W-2 employees. And before your mindset goes to, what about the employees? What about us? What about we need the money? This isn't that. So let's not bring that up or that thought. This is for those of you who have employees. You're an employee. And so what I recommend is getting on this. I'll probably go through some of the details. I have a screen open where I put together a page for you guys that I'll try to link you to down below in the description. So you can check that out, and I would join right away because it could be expiring as late as April 2024 and or as late as April 2025. It just depends on when you filed. So right here, let me open up this page and I'll go through some of the qualifications and you can view the rest of it as well. And I'll leave it again down below in the description. But here, I want to open up this tab just to make sure I have it. Okay. So you're eligible for quarters 2, 3, and 4 of 2020. If you were eligible for those quarters, of course, then you have up until 2024 to end the file, to make sure you have your 941X amended returns, to make sure we have to look at any kind of corrections. And for 2021, it's quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, I believe. And that will end by April of 2025. So you have an extra year there because it's 2021 versus 2020. So making sure that you have those set up for those eligible quarters. It's very important that you put in your payroll and tax documentation. And I work with the payroll management experts on this. I have my internal team where we'll go over this, we'll look at it, and we'll file on your behalf through the IRS, and making sure that you get the maximum amount of credit. It is not a loan, it's not a grant. So for those of you in here thinking it is, it's not that. It's not one of those credit cards you can convert into liquid credit, take out of and use into convertible cash and use it for any investments. But it is a credit, and it is things that you can use how you choose. So it's a credit that you're getting back and you're able to disperse it the way you need to. And so this is a great thing, especially for those of you who are struggling with, I'm not going to use this, but Silicon Valley Bank, there's a primary example. What happened with these fintech, venture capitalists, technology type of businesses, and them having to take their money out, and all the issues happening with them having to look for extra working capital and things to help them keep themselves up, their assets up, and what they didn't do to diversify their portfolio. I won't get into the whole Silicon Valley Bank debacle because I do know it very well. It's just not something I want to spend maybe I'll do it at the end. But what I want you guys to know is maybe moving forward, certain banks that can maybe be affected will look for a certain percentage of depositing and the frequency of those deposits. They might change that because when the banks accept this, they're able to convert it into financial security bonds or whatever other ways that they look at it, stocks and bonds. There's a whole bunch of different ones, but how they're able to disperse that money and put it into different assets, it's just somebody out there wasn't keeping track of the balance sheet, or they were, just weren't doing it correctly. But a lot of things with solvency and things like these I don't want to get into. But back on track. So you have the employee retention credit up to 26 per employee, and I'll go into some of the qualifications. Again, it can be ending soon. There's no sign or no indication that it will be changed. Maybe over time it will. But here I have this where I'll walk you through. If you had W-2 employees in 2020 or 2021 and any of the three following, you had a reduction in revenue. If your business was impacted by a government mandate, if you started your business after February 15, 2020, for those of you who did, if you did before, it's okay. But I have a few details there. And I actually have something here where I put, if you don't qualify for this or if you would like to use an alternative in the meantime as well, you can check out my fast funding options or other options that are available, the key benefits, how it works in 3 simple steps. So you'll enter your information, no application fee, nothing like that, no hidden costs. You can in fact see once you get started what you might get approved for. And then throughout the process, you'll just answer some basic questions about you and your business and see what quarters at the end you're actually available to get approved for. That's what we'll show you as a result. And then the next page, when you're ready to submit the payroll and tax documentation, what it's asked for from you, from those eligible quarters, then you'll be able to submit them into our safe and secure online process. Very safe and secure, where then we get it on our back end, reviewed, of course, and then after that, we can get more information from the IRS. Boom, all this happens, and then we can now file on your behalf on this kind of format, and then we go on from there. So there's step-by-step processes. Maybe I should show you guys a little bit about that, but here, let me move this over. Laptop is here. Step 2, again, you'll file in minutes. We'll do that for you through the secure and safe portal that allows you to determine the complex process. You can upload payroll and tax documents needed to get the highest amount back possible. Step 3, you receive your check. The U.S. Treasury will receive and process your claim and then issue your refund so you can push forward with more confidence and certainty. And I'm going to open up some examples here to walk you guys through past clients and those who are still going through them. Okay. Here's one individual who filed not too long ago. And so the step-by-step process on what we're seeing on our back end too is you will complete the application and then you will upload the documents. There are people who don't go past this step. I will remind you, I know you might not like that, but I'm just following up with you. That's all. I'm just trying to follow up. I'm not want to be that guy, but I am doing what I have to do. So I'm following up, not pressuring you, but hey, are you still interested? Will you be uploading the documents? Feedback is most important for me, guys. Please don't be that person who starts something and can't end what they start. Please, that is the worst thing. Actually, it is. What's worse than that is probably saying something and not doing it, because your word is your bond. At least the way I was brought up and how I see it, you might look at it different. But what I say, well, I act on it. I don't even tell you. I'm the person who shows you. I'm an introvert. I'll show you rather than tell you. I know how to lead and communicate well, but let me show you. No, enough of this whole, you talk for 2 hours, where did it all go, and I'm exhausted. So application then gets approved, and we go through that part of the process, and then we will sign and submit. So once you get your feedback on what amount you were given, then we can go ahead and send you something. Signed and submitted is what we're expecting. And then we will file with the IRS. And I have my information here on how we do all of this. I have the information for a lot of clients, information, documentation, etc. But everybody can get a different amount. It's just something that isn't going to be around for too long. So I would take advantage of it right now. But here are my status updates, documentation, everything like that. But it's something you guys want to do right away. Let me go to the comments. 1 second. Excuse me. I see all the people who have joined, but it doesn't reflect in the count of people who are in the room. Wouldn't that number be changing and going? Here, let me move up here. I have to go through all of these join just to find the first comment. Hey, just spreading the good word. How are you doing? It is a employee retention tax credit. So I wouldn't like to use the word funding because that can have the wrong context, or a grant. It's a refundable payroll tax credit. So we are done on the ERC program, guys. I might go into a few things. If you guys have any comments, please feel free. Questions, anything like that. And I'm going to end it shortly. This will probably be on a replay on YouTube for you guys to watch, just so you guys can see that. And to get started. Not necessarily does it need to be LLC, but you do need to have W-2 employees. So however you are incorporated, however you are established, as long as you have those W-2 employees that you're paying qualified wages on, that's what's most important. You know, you have S Corps, C Corps, you have different ways, but ideally LLC. Good question. And so I'll say it again. I didn't really say it. So, but I did. But questionnaire, or no, the bio, if you link click, I'll navigate you through that. Excuse me. I'm tired. I did a live for about an hour and a half today. So you can only imagine my introverted brain right now. So if I go to my link tree, bio, link click, or description later, replay down below, scroll down to where it says ERTC, $26,000 per employee. And when you click that link, it'll open up this screen, which is what I was kind of going over earlier on this part. And then from there, you can watch a video. I created an A to Z. I'll show you the application process. And then underneath that should be a yellow button to calculate your refund. I'll click there right now. And then you can read through this page, find out if you qualify. I'll click there. And then apply for the employee retention credit. If you pick up where you left off, or do you have a new application, you can go ahead and do that. Or if you already filled one out, there's more information for that. How much can I get from the ERC? I've done this. I've gone through it myself. But I'll walk you through what are the details and what to expect at the end. You shouldn't, because I'm here on TikTok. I can't do a share screen. But if I were on YouTube or elsewhere, I could. But what I recommend is going through that bio and making sure that you have that. Not necessarily, Ryan. They're more concerned with less. It's not a credit, like that kind of credit-based program, like personal loans, but they're more concerned with, do you meet the W-2 wage component? And another requirement would be, do you have W-2 wages or employees being paid on W-2? But is it a government mandate, partial, full shutdown? Was it gross receipts? Things that were out of your control, supply chain issues, a whole lot of that going on. There's a couple more. And there's more details to that on that page. I won't go into all of them right now, but it'll break it down. So if you guys have questions on it, the video will explain it. But underneath that video, then you'll see the qualifications. And then that video goes through it even more deeper. I give you guys a lot more information. That's me on screen, me showing you guys the application. I'm actually on it right now. Maybe it changed a little bit, but the interface, or maybe a few questions, but it's not entirely different. And then from there, you'll be good to go. Over here, I'm back on the page where if you already filled it out, check the status of your application, enter it by email, and then you'll know what is remaining. Correct. Bio, sometimes the link doesn't display on TikTok. I won't apologize on TikTok's behalf because, and I don't want to go on about that, but certain content they like to push more than others on this platform, and I don't think I did much wrong. Sometimes they would like hold my content or say, hey, I did something wrong, and I would fight it and I'd win it. But they've done this thing to not only me, but others, where they don't show the display link, or they don't show a link tree, they don't show a bit.ly link, whatever it is, for whatever reasons that they decided. That's why I don't publish too much on here anymore, short form. You'll see me on my other, like Facebook Reels, I'm going heavily on. But if you guys see me somewhere else, just make sure it's me, because there's a lot of fake profiles. Make sure you're going through the right person, because there are a lot of fake people that I'm not associated with. And in the description down below as well, guys, it'll be there. Hi, Whitney. How are you doing? Yes, you can. There's too many questions that I have to ask. I won't do it right now, but that's something I can do on the back end. I know all the questions to ask to make sure if it's something that we can do. But if you are trying to purchase an existing business, whether it's a franchise or not, it is possible. That's a generic answer. I know I can get into all the details on how much you would need for the overall total transaction, project cost, down payment, all these little things. Usually it's a 10% down payment. The business that you're looking to acquire should be profitable. The most recent 2 years, it's best. If it's not, we have to really look at the cash flow. We really have to look at the historical tax returns of the business. More than 2 years, I have people who try to buy businesses younger and even older who don't have that. It makes it more difficult. It may need to be a position where the seller needs to finance the majority of it, but there's ways of being more creative in getting that kind of financing, and I do it every single day. Like, I don't think there's really anybody out there really who does it the way that I do, and I have the access to my lenders directly and indirectly, and I know what my internal team, my underwriters, all of them are doing, and how they look at files. Here, 1 second. I would just, if I was on a live, I probably would just copy it and paste it. It's right here. I can just copy it and paste, but it's not. Let's see how I can do this. Here it is. So it's a little bit of a complicated, not really complicated, but if you typed in, and I can't put it in the comments, you guys might not be able to see it. Here, let me try it out. 1 second. See, now I got to type it out. I don't have it automatic on my keyboard because I didn't have to do that. But for you guys, I'll be doing this. See now. Oh, there it is. It actually is automatic, sorry. It's right here. There it is. You might see that, but that's the link. If you're on here, if you're not, and you're on YouTube, you can literally go down below in the description and click the ERC walkthrough. You'll see that on the domain, and you'll see more of it. Good question. Again, I can't just put it in. I don't have it on my keyboard where I can instantly say, here's the link to that. I might get a link shortener and send it out to you right now, but you can go in and here, let me see if there's a faster way for me to do this. It's on that link tree. You can see one of the videos. Like, you can even watch the ERC video and click through to my YouTube and it'll show you more of that. But you can type in my first name and last name and it'll be there. Here, let me go to my YouTube. See if I can find a shorter way to do this. And I don't know what you're laughing about, by the way, but I saw your comment. And I'm not asking anybody to buy a business. I don't know if you've been listening. So here, let me see if I can find a fast way to do this. Yeah, you guys can use my @ Here again, let me put it in the comments. Some raunchous people. Not you, just some people. There it is. I guess if you use that tag, then you should be able to see it. I want to see, I don't need to give this person any mind, but I do want to just, for everybody here. So I first get an LMFAO with 3 O's, by the way, not just one. saying you're asking random people on TikTok to buy businesses. Is that what I'm doing? Can anybody in here tell me, am I asking people to buy businesses? 44 years? Yeah, that's a good amount of time. Yeah, I've helped out a lot of people who are retiring, people looking to take over a business. Very understandable. But yes, if it all aligns, then I can help. And there are more questions I'll ask you, but there will be a questionnaire on that link tree that I shared. Description down below as well if you're on YouTube or if you're on YouTube or elsewhere. Fill that questionnaire out. I'm not going to walk you guys through it. I'm kind of tired. Otherwise, I would. Again, I did a live earlier. I'm exhausted. But I'm showing up. So, questionnaire, fill out the details, and then I'll evaluate, analyze, and give you a proper response back. We could do an SBA. Would we be able to? Would it be maybe business credit cards associated with bank term loans, with a combination of this and that? Maybe we get creative on it. So there are different angles to look at. Okay, Whitney. And if you have my email, just for everybody else in here, it's my first name, M-I-C-H, A as in Adam, E as in Edwin, L, at viral funding solutions with an S at the end.com. That is Michael at viralfundingsolutions.com. Any business loans with no tax returns. I wouldn't necessarily call it a business loan. Well, yeah, it's not a traditional business loan, but yes, it's called a cash advance. That's what the products are these days. There's like a hybrid of a cash advance now mixed with a term loan product, but it's non-APR. It's non-exact traditional bank loans. But yeah, you don't have to supply a tax return. You can ideally just do 3 months of bank statements, 4 months depending on your state, copy of your driver's license, and a voided check. Now, if you're asking for a lot more and you get approved for more, then yeah, we might ask for your recent tax return, above $150,000 a lot of the times. But there's also no doc, no income verification type of programs, but those are business credit. Yes, I do. And I had said that earlier. So the ERC, if you're on my, are you on my YouTube or Linktree? Linktree is the one you want to go to. It's much faster. So Linktree ERC walkthrough, it'll be somewhere at the bottom. Click that, it'll bring you to my landing page that I created. It's an A to Z walkthrough. You'll see it all. Hey J Panda, can you tell me why? Did you? Okay, so that can help. If you have your own business, you're looking to acquire a business, we can look at those. We can see what you've done, especially for liquidity reasons, down payments, post-closing, all of these different components to it. It does help. Cash flow, it'll add. You don't have to pay it back. It's a credit. It's not a grant exactly, but they work where you don't have to pay it back that way. Got it, Whitney. Okay, I'm gonna make note of that. You are welcome. I'm still waiting for the person who said earlier, what a clown. He said, buy a new shirt, man. Some people come in here just to clown. It doesn't even affect me. I have such a strong mind. I've built up that through personal development and many years of building my businesses, and so none of that ever affects me. And I don't pay any mind to those kind of people. It's just, for this case, I just wanted to bring it up. And I wanted to see if you would respond back. I did. You can scroll up. I put it in the comments. I know I don't want to. I'm kind of tired, guys. I don't want to. On another time, I would probably be doing things over and over and re-emphasizing things. But like I said, I did a live earlier, like a long one. Still trying to recover. You are most welcome, Whitney, and I'll look out for your DM, and I'll send you my email address there, and I'll send you any information you need. Very legitimate, secure. You guys, with me, I don't clown around. I don't want to waste anybody's energy and time. I'm not like that. I'm not your everyday business loan broker. And that's because I'm very fluid in my energy and time. Very, 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 very protective of it. Does anybody else have any questions? J Panda, I'm still waiting on your response. See, I don't have a problem with people, but when people can't dish something back, and I'm very professional, so I won't usually respond back to things like that. It's not worth it. I've already given it a second that I didn't have to give my attention to. It's little things like that that I look at very, very carefully. Getting a message from a client, I have to get back to them in a second. Thank you guys for the follow circle. And if I did miss anybody, appreciate you guys. I'll stick around for a little bit. If there's anybody you guys would like to share the room with, please do so. I don't say that enough. I'm not that person. Hey, why don't we get the count up? Why don't we get the... No, cut that crap. Stop being extra promotional, marketing guy or girl. Just go with it. So if you guys are getting value, I don't say this enough, please do share it with someone else. I'll stick around 250, 245 maybe at the most. Or at the minimum. I mean, you can apply for different services. You're not just limited to getting the employee retention credit. There's other services. And yeah, it should be on my link tree. I mean, if you went through there, then the ERC, it'll be there. No J Panda, last call. Or is it I? I think I said it wrong this whole time. Yeah, it's I. I Panda going once, twice. See, they just come in and they just like, what do you mean I gotta buy a new shirt? And I like what I'm wearing. It's not like I have some expensive shirts, but I don't always gotta wear a $40, $50, whatever type of shirt. And especially when I'm working from home, I get to work from where I want to work from. And I have that luxury, but I've been able to build it. That's the reason. You are most welcome. Thank you too. Does anybody else have any questions? Yeah, I mean, I have a client who keeps iterating to me, and I should have done, I'm gonna close this up here. Yeah, I get the business side, but there are still some business credit factors. But it looks like on your personal credit, what we've seen, and it's not just the business. It's like you're using your personal credit to help you get access to certain funding. And so I'm getting even high cash flow or low cash flow, but high revenue cash businesses, and even them are having a lot of trouble. Thank you, Gordon. Appreciate you for sharing the room. How are you doing, Ali man? or AMAN, excuse me. What are the rates that you offer? So the rates, sorry, I heard somebody. It's a lot. It depends on the program. So I can't tell you if you're going to get 6 to 18%. I can ask you a lot of questions right now. We're at the end of the video though. I can really get into things. I can ask you how business has been. I can ask you what type of business you're in. What would you need to use your funds for? How's credit? How's revenue? How's time in business? How's all these other little factors, maybe the foundation parts, business credit? I'm not doing a call. And here's why. And for those of you in here watching, don't be turned down by that. Don't say, well, he's not going to give me a call. I don't want to work with him. I'm a very systematic person. Like, I'm not like every other broker out there. Call a customer representative. Sure, they'll be happy to pick up a call, or maybe they're not happy to. I'm not just going to get a call and pick it up unless it's like there's an appointment, or if it's not an appointment, it's like, I know this person well enough. I've worked with them enough personally in business. Okay. And I don't have time, or maybe I'm busy and I go, I'm willing to give them 5 minutes of my time and I'll let them know. But I'm not just going to be that person giving people calls. I know how old school traditional people are. Just give me a call. Give me a call. If I find a broker who can do it more effectively than being on a call, that's a chance I'm willing to take. And I'm more in a personal and business relationship with them, great. So would I do things different? And I'll give you guys all a heads up here. Once you fill out my questionnaire, there usually will be a thank you page video that I made, and it'll walk you through why my processes are the way they are. They need to be. I can't leave. Like today I'm going to leave because I'm tired. I'm not tired of talking to people on a phone call, but today's different because I had to do a few videos and live with a group of people. I had to. So I'm tired from that. But I don't want to be worked up doing this day in and day out. I wouldn't be doing this anymore. And it's a testament that I'm still in this, doing it. And I know it works because I've proven my system. So questionnaire, evaluate, analyze, give you a response back via email. Best funding option and options, highly personalized and customized email. Like no other one out there. Nobody does it this way. And it's more effective. So when you look at that, you open it up. Oh man, there's a lot of options, but I'll show you your best ones at the top. I categorically customize for your needs, conclusion and roadmap, what to do. Everything is there you need to know about those services, those lenders that I recommend for your specific purposes. So you have no questions. And why do I do that? Why don't I get on a call? Why don't I just hear somebody out, build the rapport easier that way? And it's not necessarily that. There's just too much variables. And like I've told people, the number one constraint, and this is the number one reason why I would leave this industry, is because of certain people. People are unpredictable. So while I'm not saying I don't trust you, that's not the case. That's not what I'm saying. It's just I can't take that risk. And then whether I've developed the relationship personally or not, that's fine. I care about that more than even anything else. Like I care about that value. I care about the person. But like I'm not just going to be the information guy. I'm not. I've had it with that. People just keep looking for information. I don't expect them to go start an application. I'm doing it without any expectation. But at the same time, I cannot just be that available to people because it's not a good way to do things. Contrary to popular belief, but I'm a real estate investor, Michael. I'll do everything over a call, or hey, I do it this way. Well, this is not how it works in this world. It's not only a risk, it's not a bad risk. Like I'm not saying it's a risk as in it's a bad risk until I know I'll know, but I'm not going to be just giving people phone calls. Because the reason behind that is it energy and time effective? It can be, but at the same time, there's another way for me to discover that. So normally, and I have funded a lot of clients who are doing like millions per month. I kid you guys not. I know I'm saying it, but really I have. But what I've done is I give them an email back. From that email, you can generally start from that email. It'll break down those services from top to bottom. I might give you a custom number amount, ballpark ranges, because I can underwrite a file like the actual underwriters do. I pre-underwrite. And I know what they want. And so I might even give you the documentation, how I need to ask for it, how this needs to get done. And then here's an application link. And by that point, if you just want to get on a call and go, hey, Michael, thank you for sending me this information. I've been watching your content. I know who you are. I know about who you are in your business as well. And I just had clarity on this service. It won't take up more than your time. Great. Okay. when do you think I can expect to receive your documentation and application by? Or you could even tell me yourself. I don't even have to ask that. Usually I will, because too many people get off too easy. But the thing is, I shouldn't have to be on phone calls every single day. And I'm not a traditional person. If that's not what you want, you might go to somebody who will overpromise and underdeliver. And that's a higher risk, because there's a very low percentage of brokers who actually know their stuff versus those who don't. You might find somebody who does and likes the way that you do it or the way that you want them to do it. But in this world, you have to more so meet the way that I do it instead of me meeting you 50-50. It's not always that way. It has to be 70-30, 60-40, 80-20. And there's times where I do just take that always that way. It has to be 70-30, 60-40, 80-20. And there's times where I do just take that risk and I get on a call with someone because it makes sense. And I know this will be energy and time effectively used, then I will do it. But not in all cases. Again, I have to see that questionnaire. The questionnaire will show me, and I know you guys get sensitive about filling out information. This is a pre-qualification questionnaire. It's not an application. It's confidential, safe and secure. Does anybody have any questions? Thirty more seconds and I'll get going. And I have nothing to hide for those of you who are starting to get those thoughts. Nothing at all. Very loyal, open, nothing to hide. And it's just that, again, I can't put myself out there like that. For one, I'm an introvert, but it's not all about that. I can communicate well on calls and stuff. I just don't want to be doing that. I get this industry better than you. What you guys think maybe is not the same way that I think about it, because I'm actually in it every day. So you guys have to put yourself in my shoes and think, how many people does he actually help? How many people does he probably work with per day? How is he doing it? It's the question you have to ask. And I work with plenty. No. Depends on the service. So it can be credit-based, collateral, cash flow-based. Excuse me. And each one of them is a different service. What I love, from your guys' end, I can see why you guys would think that. I'm not one-dimensional. I have multiple businesses. But I can see it from your point of view thinking that. Like, I'm just going to answer calls and I don't know my stuff. I know my stuff well. I keep track of my own businesses and I know their profitability. I know their cash flow. I know all of that. So what you're speaking to is somebody in your shoes who's received funding before with different services. So I know this. I know how you guys think when it comes to getting funding. You are welcome. Okay. Yeah, questionnaire or bio link, click description down below as well. Anybody else? How about 20 more seconds? Like, you guys answer me. Would it be something you would like to do, being on calls all day? Mm-mm. I mean, nobody likes to. I get that answer and you have to do it. But I'm not doing that. And I have more effective energy and time ways of doing this. It doesn't require me to be on calls all day and doing it like that, the way you guys would think. There are people out there who are probably cold calling you. Do you guys want that? Or do you guys want somebody right here you can trust and level with? I know we're on 2 different screens and stuff, but I'll help you. How about 10 more seconds? Anybody? Hello. How are you doing? Different startup funding solutions. I'm not going to get into all of them, but I can share this with you in time and what's up to market. But most startup programs that are credit-based require stronger credit, like 680 and above. So if you have stronger credit, you don't have to tell me or give me the actual score. But if you have stronger credit, at least FICO Experian, we can work with something. Other ones would require more on all 2 or 3. But yeah, it just depends on certain details and what you need to use the funds for, how much you're needing. So these are just different questions that I would ask in time. I'm great. Thanks for asking. I'm a bit tired. I did about an hour and 30-minute live to a group of brokers and agents who I train underneath me, and went about an hour over than I needed to, but I really needed to cover a lot and I couldn't do it underneath that. So my energy, time, a bit tired. I'm gonna go take a break after this. Probably have a Belvita, sit by the couch. The sun's coming through here in Washington, so I'll go and enjoy that a little bit and just recalibrate, because I really need to do that. But at a 660, okay, fair, getting good. But yeah, ideally, like, you could go get personal and business credit cards, but it won't be optimized. It won't be an optimized profile, so it'll be harder to. And for what you're asking for, you may not get enough. So ideally, is there a way for you to, maybe there's some high balances? Is there a late payment there? Is there something that you need to remove or something that you need to pay down on? And from there, if you're at a 680, at least FICO Experian, you have your in the door. All 3 is best. We have a 700 on all 3 is best, because then we can go do multiple. I'm doing that with a lot of people right now. Yeah, that needs to be cleared. Like, even if it's, yeah, that needs to be removed and cleared and everything, because that'll be an issue. Even at a 680 level with that, and they wouldn't usually be 680. But yeah, these are things you're going to have to, and if you want help with that, perhaps you already are doing this. Maybe you need it for also other things, for credit repair, other credit repair services. I work with the best in this industry as what I believe to be. And I have a good personal and business relationship with them. But yeah, I can help you. What you want to do, though, in the meantime, is fill out the questionnaire on my site. And it should be in the bio. And Linktree. And then from there, go to the business funding questionnaire and fill it out for startups. And then I'll have it in my email. And what I'll do is I'll evaluate, analyze, and I'll send it out to you. I'll send you an email response back on your best funding option and options. I've done that a lot today. So I'll show you all your startup options. Like today, people are responding back, feeling so like grateful about it and thankful, because I showed them in an email. Like, I have it so systematic. I've iterated this so well that I'm going to show you from top to bottom, like different credit-based programs. And I'll say, hey, you don't qualify yet. Wait till you get a 680 here or 700 here. If you can't get one, get a guarantor, get a credit partner. I'll get into that in a second. But yes, I'll get into the guarantor in a second here. But yes, you can get their information. How I do it, how he asks me to do it, it's different. So I've done a review on his site. So if you were to go to my bio link tree, I think at the very bottom, let me check this with you. Second to last button right now, credit repair help, or in the bio or the description down below, I'll have this information. But here, I did a review on his services. He's done a review about me too. And here, the first link I'm going to click on that says get started here. After that, get the credit repair that you need. And here, the first link I'm going to click on that says get started here. After that, get the credit repair that you need fast or similar. And then you're going to just input some information on there. And then what will happen is it'll land in my email. I'll revise, I'll look at it. In the notes section, please add what you want to do and your plan to achieve. This is a required field. I need to know these things so I can give them over to my team. So I need to know this before. I don't want you guys just to go and call a number. And if you did, if they don't ask you or you do tell them, say, hey, you were referred by Michael Granados, the TikTok guy, Steve will. His name is Steve. He'll usually know, or TikTok. He'll probably be like, yeah, he's on blogs and yeah, and he'll tell you, I'm a very loyal, trustworthy person. But yeah, bio, or I'll probably leave it in the description down below in time. Yeah, and if you go away from here, I don't know if it'll display it on TikTok. Sometimes it doesn't, but it'll go to my link tree, very bottom, credit repair. There's a video you can watch. I'm transparent, so I'm going to show you those. And then in the description, there will be a link you can click on and fill out a form. Just know that the repair costs, without going into all the little features and benefits, I won't do that now. I should, but in time, you'll see that. But it's about $150 per month. Very reasonable. There's a couple of plans at about $129 and $27 or $29, identity protection and a few things. But it all comes out in total at about $150 per month. And you can cancel usually about any time you decide. A lot of people, they stay on for more than 6 months. They just decide to stay on, whether they really needed it or not. But that's your decision to make at that point. It's very safe. Like the safest. Simple. He's out in Los Angeles. British too. Very cool guy. He speaks like me in ways where it's slowed down. That's how I speak. Slower. But not necessarily slow. It's just meticulous. He's just trying to make sure he asks the right questions. And he's very professional. Very, very professional. Him and I meet eye to eye. Because we're at in our careers, we're in our punctuality and discipline. How we meet. Yeah. And I'm glad you do. So when you do get time, please look at that. And anybody else in here who's curious about credit repair and doing it safe and secure with the best, there's some other services out there that I've looked at and I've gone, too much time, they don't really understand your business, or they just take too long on this part, this dispute letter wasn't sent correctly. There's so many things that they miss that you guys wouldn't even be able to imagine. And you guys want the right metro disputing processes? That's how it works. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired. So I'll keep going if anybody has any questions, or I'll end it in less than 30 seconds. $15 more seconds. So here's a presentation. Okay. So here's a situation where this person has credit, subprime credit. Let's just say 630 to 650. Let's just say that range. Now her income looks good. We're just gonna say she does somewhere between 80 to 100,000 plus personal income from a job she's had for 28 years. She's trying to get funds for a real estate store. her and her son are opening pre-revenue. Okay. So I've had this situation before. But most providers and lenders, this is the problem. Not necessarily, but the lenders are looking for at least a 680 minimum. So where do they get started with 650? So we might have to do some pay down loan program. Figure out a way if it's, what is it, a repo? Is it something derogatory? That could be a lot worse and probably a lot lower credit. But we would have to focus on those balances and what she has on her payment history and see if we can get them up to a 680. So with this situation, yes, they could get business credit cards perhaps, but it wouldn't be an optimized profile. My question is how much they are actually looking for. And that can tell me more. So I'll have to ask them how much money would they need, because it's not impossible, it's improbable. It's just harder with that kind of credit score. Okay, 10 more seconds. Does anybody have anything? You are most welcome. I gotta have a talking to my lender. See, these are the things that I don't need. So there wasn't a call today, I think, for my client, or there was, but you missed it. So now this is this whole no call today thing, and can we arrange one for tomorrow? My lender's probably out of office. So see, now I'm in this like constraint that I don't need to be in, because this should have been taken care of. And I was expecting to hear an email back today from a couple people. I didn't get it. I'm busy. I get it. You're busy. Set a time. Can't be that busy. And so this is a situation where I'm helping a client get a personal loan. We're back and forth, and they're at a point where they're just having to talk to the analyst or our underwriter. Should have been already done. And so it's not my fault. Maybe there was some miscommunication, or he just missed the call. But see, I don't have to be hearing this, right? So when you work in your job or your department, there are things you shouldn't be hearing. There are things that when they come to you and you figure out, like, you ask them questions, how did you do that? Why did you go about it like that? And then you can educate them. Feel free, be constructive, tell them, hey, this is the way I would have done it. This is what you should have. Illustrate your point. And so certain people, they don't get away with things with me. It's like, I'm very punctual. I'm not forceful. I'm very kind, give people the benefit of the doubt. And I had a meeting and I spoke with my team today. We had a great conversation. And like, Michael, I've seen your stuff. They've been telling me, man, you've been crushing it and doing well. Keep going, keep your spirits up. I saw one of your recent videos. I know how people are in this industry. I know it's a numbers game. And I'm like, but I'm not a salesperson. I'm not like that. The thing is, it's not on my end. It's on the other person's end. So when I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but the other person isn't fulfilling on their part, it makes everything troublesome. Can you guys relate in your industry? If you've had to work with certain people, and this is why I prefer doing my lead generation digital marketing agency stuff, because I don't have to deal with this kind of boneheaded stuff. I don't have to deal with, I already have a client on a retainer, or I get another client, I'm just fulfilling and I'm using a certain skill set, and I have those. But when it comes to helping somebody and they're at the point where it's, okay, offer, or they change their mind and they're like, no, I actually wanted 3 years, but they can't get 3 years, or they can, it's just going to take longer. They said, oh, I decided to change my way and I'm going to wait 6 months for this. And I'm like, they don't really even know what they're getting involved with. Like, I showed them there is no excuse at that point. And so it's usually the person who gets in their own way. And so from what I've learned being a business loan broker and at what I do, being the best, not being cocky, but being confident and certain about it, it's the people. I love you guys. I care about you as a person, literally. But what I'm doing on my end, I can see it very well. It's people getting cold feet, fearful, and I break down beliefs, misconceptions. Understand me, I do very well. There's not a problem there in communication. It's when it comes time, it's that person. And so my team and I just told them briefly, I told them I don't want to get into this deep rabbit hole. But yes, it is people. And they said, yeah, it is. I'm like, yes, it is people who get in their own way. I can be the best at what I do. I can literally be the best in my industry here in this one. But that doesn't mean somebody's going to take an offer. That doesn't mean somebody's going to go through an application. I can literally be the best. I won't be forceful. But honestly, it's too unpredictable. And that's why I would leave this industry. Too many people, pretenders. Too many people doing this. 3-4 phone calls. People doing so much that they shouldn't have done. And I'm like, oh, God. And so I don't want to leave my day like this thinking, what just happened? And I get it. We're dealing with businesses and finances. I get it. Michael, you're dealing with business and finance. Yeah, but if that person were to work on themselves, like literally on their health, their relationships better, like it can help a lot. It does a lot. That way I'm not having to be exhausted through an application. I ruin my reputation with my team. I don't need any of that. Literally right now I have people who went through an offer, send me an email. Hey, Michael, yes, sorry for not getting back to you. And this was like 2 weeks. What the hell? Where's this person at? Why do you even submit an application? Don't ever do that through me. Like, if you guys are that way, just don't. And so, yeah, I'm just looking for options. Well, why don't you tell me you're looking for options or respond back to something? And she's like, I'm going to take the offer here soon and I'll respond back. Not one email yet. And we had to shut down her offer. My team comes back to me like, where is she? Michael, can you get a hold of her? Because I can't. They shouldn't have to get a hold of her. It should only be me. I didn't have to call them to do all this, but they put me in that position where I had to give them a call. 3-4 phone rings, goes to the voicemail every single time. There was not even one time where it would be her picking it up or someone else. Like, why do you even do that? Don't do that. And then rack up another inquiry. I don't even know what she's doing now. Would it be best for her? Really? I don't think so. Because I work, again, with the best underwriters and lenders in this space. Usually I beat most offers with my team, and we have a meet and beat. If you have an offer out there, you bring it over to us, usually we beat that offer. Or we give you a $500 gift card guaranteed. That's how confident we are in what we do. And we're very ethical. See, you could build loyalty with somebody in this space, but all it takes is one thought. That's all it takes to shatter it. No, not my fault. Hey, this is where I'm innocent. That person backstabbed me. I didn't deserve that. That's not my character. I don't know what I did to deserve that. But it's because of the other person or the people that are causing that. Not everybody, but certain characters. And not only because they're doing bad credit and bad revenue, it's because also it's higher revenue businesses that happen the same way. Cockiness, arrogance, and ego, stubbornness, all these factors can be at play. Okay, no more questions. All right, guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in. Look down below in the description for more information. I'm winded out, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you. Bye.